Hello and welcome to Invermay Park for the final game of the 2023 Women's Statewide All-Star Series. The best of the best from the NTFA hosting the best of the best from the NWFL. The series might have already been claimed by the SFL, but bragging rights are on the line this afternoon as these two teams look to finish the campaign in style. My name is Anthony Osborne, delighted to be bringing you this afternoon's action from a very blustery vantage point, must be said, at Invermay Park, but overall should still have a good afternoon of football. To my left is NWFL Competition Manager Morgan Hughes. Morgan, fantastic to have you on board.
Thanks for having me, Anthony. I feel very privileged to be standing next to you today for this one. Weather's good, ground looks good. Hopefully it's a good game of footy.
Of course, last Saturday, the first game, the NWFL were plagued with incredibly wet conditions, and then the NTFA, during the game, I should say, the weather was pretty good, but pre-game, lots of rain down in Hobart. So this afternoon, we'll get to see them play in some drier conditions as the umpire gets set to throw the ball up to kick things off in this final Women's All-Star Series game. Ball just bouncing around in the middle of the ground, keen to see which side's able to get off to the quickest start. Cut off there at half back for the NTFA as they build themselves through the middle of the ground. Opportunity to get the first inside 50 of the contest. Breward goes into the pocket. Mark not taken. That was Emily McKinnell, who did some good things last weekend. Emily McKinnell from the pocket gathers it again. Emily McKinnell! What a start for the NTFA. McKinnell from the pocket had the follow-up effort and just weighted that ball perfectly. And as we said, some windy conditions down here at Invermay Park, but that was handled with aplomb, Morgan Hughes.
That might go down as potentially a goal of the series. She's gathered from the pocket in front of the grandstand and then straight through the middle from where we stand, Anthony. I think we've got a pretty good view of it.
Absolutely. Magnificent finish there from McKinnell, who, as we said, did some good things last weekend. A former North Launceston TSLW player, now playing a trade at the Parrots at Bridgenorth, and a real key figure for them down inside 50. Keen to see the role she plays this afternoon, but first blood goes the way of the NTFA with their opening inside 50. They hit the scoreboard as they get locked up here in the middle of the ground. Applying that tackle there was Ashley Corbett, a player who I thought was pretty strong across last weekend's game, Morgan.
Yeah, she was good at that far wing. Got about 18 touches and was pretty good with her delivery as well. Didn't play in last year's series, but did play in the first and was strong there. I thought she was pretty unlucky not to be selected last year, but she did very well last week at North Hobart.
Olivia Smith with that last kick, just showcasing that breeze going out of bounds. Another player who really seems to just be coming on in leaps and bounds year on year, Olivia Smith.
Yeah, playing more of an inside role she did last week. She just knows how to get the footy and knows how to deliver it. Obviously doing well at Wynyard as their skipper, and continue to deliver for the Northwest as well.
Initial handball out of that contest from Piper Humphreys. Ball just bouncing around across that half-back line, and the NTFA will be rewarded. They're looking to move the ball on quickly at all costs. Mark not quite taken, but they'll drive this ball now towards 50. McKinnell caught at the back. Numbers here should favour the NWFL, but no one went in to get the footy. Back of the pack now, opportunity for Hoiberg Cox, who was outstanding last weekend. Maximum votes in the MVP, and of course that is a little side narrative this afternoon. The MVP award still up for grabs. Hoiberg Cox, as we said, getting maximum votes from the two coaches last weekend as the ball was thrown back into play. Ball tapped down. Again, these two teams just feeling their way into this contest at the moment. Whelan involved. Whelan once again, just laying the shepherd too. Opportunity now for the NWFL to try and build something off half-back. But the NTFA have brought the tackle pressure early on. Umpire says play on. Roving maul. The umpire will probably have to intervene, and they will.
Pressure has been there from the NTFA very early, Anthony.
It certainly has, and that was something you can't fault their endeavour against the SFL last weekend. I'd go as far to say it's the best performance we've seen from the NTFA across the Women's All-Star Series. McKinnell inside 50, can't quite take the mark. Opportunity at ground level, a bouncing ball, dribbling towards goal and just scraping through for a minor score. That was Alice Robinson. Did some good things on the wing last weekend as well for the NTFA. So the NTFA go to 1-1-7. NWFL yet to hit the scoreboard. Still early days here at Invermay Park. Scrappy ball out of defensive 50. Mark not taken. A chance here for the NTFA. Bouncing ball. Moving it on there was done. Again, some good defensive pressure, but the NTFA have some numbers in important positions. It's a 2-on-1 for McKinnell. Can't quite take the mark. Keeping the ball alive. Clever little tap on. Chance here for them through Robinson. McKinnell goes back in and gets it. Strong tackle laid there by Shania Saywood, and the umpire will come and get the footy.
McKinnell causing all problems up forward at the moment for the NTFA. Looks like the match up there with Baxter on McKinnell.
Yeah, that McKinnell-Green duo inside 50 can cause some serious headaches. Green now doing the ruck work. A clever tap down there from the NWFA player in Saywood. Now ground level, gets off to Hoiberg Cox. Good user usually, gets it in that direction of Piper Humphreys. Humphreys now trying to mop the footy up. She has a bit of time, initially wrapped up in the tackle though. Strong tackle from the NTFA. We will have another stoppage. Of course, we have a state game coming up in just a couple of weeks, July 1 at North Hobart Oval. This is one of the last real auditions at a high level for these players to put their best case forward. NTFA continuing to surge the ball towards the goal line, but that one rolls over and out. So, healthy crowd building up here at Invermay Park. This game in between a reserves and a senior NTFA match, OLs and St Pat's.
It was a good game too. Good finish in the end.
Cracking game, yeah. St Pat's got on a bit of a run, and the fans who have travelled out absolutely loved it too. Green with the double-handed tap down in. Now the NWFL do the roving. Hoiberg Cox gets on that left boot, drives the ball out of defensive 50. First to it for the NTFA will be Ketchell. Cuts it back inboard inside 50. Boyack first to the football. Clever handball back. Setting something up now for the NTFA, but on the last line of defence, the mark's taken by Saywood, who started this game well.
Yeah, interesting move. She played forward last week. She's now gone down back, and she's been pretty prominent early.
You can just see the curve of that breeze. That was going towards the grandstand side of the ground, but it's cut back in, and the NTFA go inside 50 once again. McKinnell with a clean pickup, gets it off to Abby Green. Good smother, saving the day there for the NWFL. Hoiberg Cox, ball's a little hot, bouncing ball towards goal, dribbling through. A fantastic finish there for the NTFA. The NWFL were defending grimly, but unable to keep that goal out. I think it might have been a goal to Robinson.
Yeah, I think it was.
Alice Robinson, opportunistic, gets the second goal, and so far, all the play and all the scoring's been at our broadcast side of the ground.
Definitely has. That's what you want your small forward to do. Opportunistic. She was down at ground level, and yeah, it was a slight kick, but through the middle, that's all you need. Good
finish there from Robinson, picking up where she left off last weekend. So we go back to the middle. Challenge certainly been issued here to the NWFL. Of course, conditions, as we've seen with a couple of those kicks, not being overly favourable early on. So we'll get a good indication after a full half of football. But so far, the NTFA well and truly on top. Umpire will take it back once again. Decisively one down on that occasion there from Vandenberg. NTFA looking to launch off half back. Kick towards the broadcast side of half forward. Robinson, clever little tap on once again. She's a clever footballer. Gathers the footy on the second go. Goes inside 50. McKinnell was coming. That's a really brave mark, going back with a flight there from the skipper, Abby Hoiberg Cox. Hoiberg Cox waits that kick perfectly. Finds her teammate there in Olivia Smith. Smith doesn't quite get the purchase she wanted, but I think the umpire might call the 50. Looks like number 2 there for the NTFA. Just lost the step. Sophie Farrow just lost her footing a little bit. Going to be punished, so probably let out of jail a little bit there, Olivia Smith.
Yeah, I reckon. Kick left a bit to be desired, but yeah, she's got a 50.
So Smith now to try and launch a meaningful entry for the NWFL. They haven't had one yet. Sets it up towards half forward, filling the hole and taking the mark. That's a good grab as the NTFA now look to launch off half back.
Oh, they're out here.
They are back into the middle of the ground. Here's an opportunity for them. Breward gets the footy, drives it towards half forward. Robinson just caught at the back. That's a really clean mark taken. And moving on, Saywood just got rid of the football in time. The NTFA will still bring it back to a dangerous spot. Green evades one tackle. Abby Green from downtown launches in the McKinnell direction. It's going to bounce just towards the pocket and comfortably seeing it through for a minor score. So that Green and McKinnell combination just causing some headaches for the NWFL at the moment, but that slingshot footy off half back looks really dangerous.
Looks very dangerous, that forward 50 for the NTFA at the moment. McKinnell and Green are looking incredibly dangerous. Green's height, McKinnell's danger up forward and forward craft has been hard to manage for the Northwest at the moment.
Baxter brought the ball out of defensive 50, handball on there from Revel. Now the NWFL find themselves towards half forward. This run and gut off half back from the NTFA. Proving successful for them so far. Kick goes inside 50. Hoiberg Cox at the back. First to it though is going to be Breward. Now they're away through Hoiberg Cox, dashing through the middle of Invermay Park. And these two are just playing kick to kick at the moment as the NTFA build off half back. Out wide. Farrow getting involved, just getting run down. That's a fantastic tackle from the tall ruck, Charlie Vandenberg. something that really impressed me last week as well with Vandenberg, a work rate around the ground, Morgan. She's a real all-round asset as a ruck.
She just doesn't stop all day. I mean, that's the one thing, feather in her cap really is a ruckman. It's sometimes be hard to get around the ground, but her work around the ground is impeccable, as you've seen in the last 3 years in this series.
Smith kicks it towards half forward, but again, the NTFA is putting up a bit of a wall for them at the moment. A couple of players throwing themselves at the football here on the broadcast side of the ground. The umpire will adjudicate a free kick. No, will be a ball up. So, throw up here on centre wing. One down by Johnson. NTFA burst away from the stoppage. High kick towards half forward. Green didn't quite have the sit, but the ball now spills out to the NTFA player running into a little bit of space. Kicking it in the direction of McKinnell. Can't quite take the mark. Good defensive effort there from Baxter. Combines with Revel, and they find themselves out of danger for the moment. Kick goes out in the direction of Georgia Joseph. Handball back into traffic. First to it now for the NTFA is going to be Breward. She's been busy. Kicks in the direction of McKinnell. Puts the Dukes up and takes the mark. Emily McKinnell. She started this game in style. Already has 1 goal to her name. Which would take some of her best work considering the breeze, but I wouldn't put it past her.
After what we saw in the first minute, I wouldn't put it past her.
McKinnell gets it moving on quickly. Weights the ball pretty well and favouring Green, but just a little too much on the kick, over and out.
Definitely an open game, that's for sure. So far, much openness from both sides. A lot of dishes, a lot of handballs.
Especially after the wet, greasy conditions we saw last week. Robinson got the kick away, smothered. McKinnell first to the football. She's going to be paid a free kick. She was held without the footy, and I guess that's the danger that a McKinnell presents. She gets the defenders nervous, and she's earned herself another shot on goal.
I think it's probably a bit of confidence now as well for the Northwest defenders that, you know, she's been so prominent early that, you know, they're trying to hold her and do what they can to stop her, which is illegal in this case.
So Emily McKinnell, slight angle, brings herself towards goal. Kick is on the way, hits the woodwork. That's a minor score. So the NTFA, they've made the most of a couple of opportunities, but have probably left a couple of goals out on the park as well. Ball's brought out of defence. It's all NTFA. So they drive the ball inside 50 once again. McKinnell on her own takes the mark. So McKinnell causing all sorts of headaches. Just found herself in a little bit of space. She's just looking to set something up for a teammate. There's an NTFA player over the back here in Robinson. If they can create something, she kicks in that direction. Green's there as well. Green can't take the mark. Right towards the goal line. Defending grimly now, the NWFL. Stripped of the football, holding the ball. Great defensive effort there down back from the NWFL player in Joey Revell.
Played forward last week as well, Joey. Now she's down back this week.
Not quite out of danger yet of the NWFL. Strong tackle laid there by Robinson. She's been really productive. Handball goes back. Hoiberg Cox so clean beneath the knees. Gathers the football, drives it out of defensive 50. Again, you can just see the hook on that football from the breeze at the moment. Both teams probably still working their way through that, as we'll have holding the football free kick paid. Now's a chance for the Northwest. Chip kick finds its way to the middle of the ground, causing all sorts of havoc at the moment that breeze as it bounces away. Kick goes towards half forward. Good gather. Chipping kick, just trying to get some territory there from Bridget Griffiths. And the NTFA will bring it back into play. NTFA looking to move the ball on quickly at all costs at the moment. Mark's taken here on the wing. Another opportunity for them. Cut the ball back into the middle. Bold kick. Big ball to win here. NTFA do pretty well, but the numbers eventually come through Smith. Smith gets a handball away. Run down tackle. Umpire says play on. Extracting the football there and doing really well was Emily Saywood. Doesn't quite get the ball away. Gather. Unable to get the kick. Good pressure being applied now by the NWFL. And we'll have a stoppage. So
play down here in the middle by the looks of things.
Yeah, there is. Good spot there, Morgan. We'll keep an eye on that. If you can identify who it is, let me know. Here in play, Vandenberg wins the tap down to Smith, who shows a bit of razzle-dazzle, draws the high free kick. Has the ball on the wing. This is just where they're breaking down at the moment, the NWFL, and the umpire's just called a stop to play while we look after the injured player. So, hope the player's okay. It's been a pretty frenetic start to this game though, Morgan. As we said earlier, it's been really free-flowing, the ball going around everywhere, and particularly the NTFA, whenever they get the footy, they're just looking to move it super quickly.
They just look very dangerous at the moment, Anthony. The NTFA have shown that their aggression's been incredible on the ball, and obviously when it gets inside 50, they just look like they're overawing the NWFL at the moment. I think they're a bit... Green and McKinnell, Georgia Joseph obviously that's injured.
Yeah.
The forward line has been brilliant for the NTFA, and the aggression from the mid to get it in there deep has been superb. Those inside 50 entries have been very deep. No shallow entries from the NTFA, which is obviously held in good stead.
I'm curious to see how things play out across the second quarter. And of course, we hope Georgia Joseph's okay. Didn't quite see the incident, but fingers crossed she's all right. Of course, there was that injury last week with Bissett as well for the NWFL.
Passed a fitness test this morning to be playing today.
Fantastic to see her out there. She's such a talented player as Amy Bissett.
30 goals for the year so far in the competition, so she's doing very well since moving to Wynyard.
So now Smith will resume play. Kick towards half forward. This is where they've been breaking down, and they break down once again. Mark Taken. Cutting back through the middle of the ground. High kick towards half forward. Green's there. Unable to take the mark for the NWFL was Revel. Hoiberg Cox gets the kick away. High up and under. And the NTFA just lining up to chop these balls off at the moment. Aggressive kick. Now they go inside 50. McKinnell can't take the mark. Heavy collision. Green at the back of the pack. Can't quite get the kick away. The NWFL will emerge through Hoiberg Cox. She's had plenty of the football once again in the early stages of this one. Umpire's going to say holding the player. So free kick going the way of Whelan. Jess Whelan chips the ball on short. Can't quite execute the mark. NTFA now come in to provide some pressure. Breward involved. Handball funneled back there by Freestone. And they find themselves at half forward again. It just clean bowls Abby Green. Opens the door now for the NTFA runners. Kick smothered. Clever tap on. Sets up Hoiberg Cox. Is off to the races again. Such a damaging kick off half back. That's a bouncing ball. NTFA just looking a little bit cleaner around the ground at the moment. On that occasion it was Binns, unable to complete it successfully. Numbers come in support of stoppage.
I think if there was ever a player you want to compare to the NFL role of a quarterback, Abby Hoiberg Cox probably fits that. Just cleans up everything and then patrols from the half back. Unfortunately, the NTFA are just doing the same thing in return.
Strong tackle laid. Umpire has a decision to make, and they'll take the ball back. Ball's tapped down. Again, no easy possessions at the moment for the NWFL. Hurried kick towards half forward. No one able to take it. Again, no one inside 50 at the moment. Everyone's drawn up. And showing a bit of dash. That's the sort of football they're going to need to do. The umpire's going to say that's throwing the player after getting rid of the ball, though. So free kick going the way of the NWFL. Bissett. Fairway from home. Breeze causing some chaos. Just decides to pump the ball in. This will be the deepest entry we've probably seen from the NWFL so far.
Definitely.
Ball goes out into the pocket. The NTFA can once again mop it up. Neat little kick over the top. Bounce was unkind. Inside 50 once again for the NWFL, but they're just lining up at the moment. Down back of the NTFA. Mark Taken once again. High kick, good mark taken. There's a siren sounds on what was an absorbing opening term, Morgan Hughes, but scoreboard makes for pretty reading for the home side. The NTFA 2-3-15, NWFL yet to score. I'm keen to see how this unfolds across the second quarter with both teams kicking to the same end of the ground, but NTFA have caused the NWFL defenders in particular plenty of headaches so far.
I think for the NTFA, you're going to go in at quarter time and the coaching staff will be very happy with that performance. Obviously, the wind is there, but I think their forward line structure has been brilliant so far. McKinnell's just caused all sorts of problems as well as Abby Green. And then you've got Deanne Taylor on the halfback who cleaned up everything. So, I think they'd be very happy going in quarter time. NWFL will have a bit of work to do, I think. their backline has been good under tough circumstances, but again, they probably need to try and mirror the forward line structure the NTFA doing, because they look dangerous going forward. But anyway, the second quarter we'll see what happens.
Certainly will. So 2-3-15 plays NWFL 0. The goal scorers for the NTFA are Alice Robinson and Emily McKinnell. We'll take a short break and hear from commentary. Second quarter coming up next. Welcome back to Invermay Park. A big second quarter coming up in this Women's All-Star Series game between the NTFA and the NWFL. It's a 15-point margin in favour of the home side after they dominated general play across the opening term. Of course, some blustery conditions. We're keen to see how this quarter unfolds. The NWFL now kicking to the broadcast end of the ground as we get things underway in this second term. Also interesting to see if the NWFL do throw any magnets around. They've changed a bit from last week's initial teams. Good start to the quarter here. Hill finds Griffiths. Smith, I should say, to Griffiths. Griffiths now fans the ball out to half forward. Mark not taken, but still alive here for the Northwest. Tied up against the boundary line, trying to keep the ball in play. Eventually rolls out of bounds. So we identified a couple of changes from last week, Morgan. Is there any, do you see someone like a Hoiberg Cox? I know she's been so valuable across half back, potentially getting on ball later in the game?
Yeah, I definitely. She's playing at a club level, so definitely I think there's a potential for her to go in the middle. Probably less midfield options than what they've had in the past in Northwest, so I wouldn't be surprised to see her go on the ball in the second half.
Free kick there to Monique Booth. High contact, drives the ball towards half back. Vandenberg fills the hole and takes a good mark. Charlie Vandenberg pumps the ball into the pocket, sees a target she likes, just over the head there. Grace Huxtable. Ball somehow stays in play. Still alive here for the NWFL. Kick along the ground. Chaos football now for the NTFA defence. Strong tackle laid
Good
there
tackle
by Jess Whelan, and she'll be rewarded. Great pressure there from Whelan.
Credit to Grace Huxtable there to keep that ball in play. That was some good stuff there.
Yeah, I'd almost just written that off as being a stoppage. It was fantastic stuff from Huxtable. Now Whelan will have a look at goal. Minimal angle, just a tricky little breeze to navigate here. Begins her approach. Whelan to get the NWFL on the board, close to the player on the mark, but that one causes the goal umpire no queries whatsoever. Through the middle, the NWFL are on the board for the first time today.
Yeah, this win's definitely going to play a big part, as we've seen already. Early start of the quarter, and the Northwest have taken advantage of the win. Again, like I said, Huxtable, brilliant play there, and Jess Whelan, who's been kicking goals for Wynyard as a goal-kicking midfielder, slots home the goal.
Yeah, nice finish there from Whelan. Always good to see defensive efforts inside 50 are rewarded. So, sunshine bathing in Invermay Park at the moment. It's an important goal in the context of this game. Cuts the margin back to 9 as we go back to the middle of the ground. Vandenberg wins the tap. Handball over the top there from Ketchell, but the NWFL shark the tap. Goes inside 50. Mark almost taken there from Bissett. A really good gather on the second effort. Just lost a footing at the crucial moment. Still got rid of the football. Hurried kick. Mark taken. And Deanne Taylor just doing what Deanne Taylor does. Takes the intercept mark. Launches it out of defensive 50. One-on-one here on the southern wing. Abby Green's there in support. Can't quite get the football when it's fanned out. It was a clever handball. The umpire spotted free kick, high contact, going the way of Abby Green. So this is what the NWFL couldn't do in the first term, is this kick from here. Create a meaningful entry. Abby Green looks to do that now. Drives it inside 50. McKinnell can't quite take the mark. Ball at the bottom of the pack, and the umpire will come in. It's probably something the NWFL couldn't do, was just lock in a stoppage inside 50 in that opening term, Morgs.
Yeah, ball just kept flowing out too quickly. The NTFA will be trying to look to, or as Abby Green gets out of the ruck.
Takes out of the ruck, it's all on the bounce. Bouncing ball just missing to the near side. So the first score of the contest down at that end of the ground is a minor one to the NTFA. So the Northwest now trying to bring this ball out of defensive 50. Nice shepherding. Player on the mark. The NTFA going to create another opportunity. Ball is central, just over the top. Northwest should be able to mop this ball up. Tight in the pocket, just got to think their way through. And goes out of bounds for a throw in.
NTFA forward line definitely looks more dangerous at the moment. Every time Abby Green goes near the ball, it's like a problem for the NWFL.
Paul thrown in. Tap down, handball off. Again, a good tackle laid there by Corbett. Umpire will come in to intervene once again. Saw her involved again there with Smith, just those quick handballs as soon as she gets the footy. She's such a quick thinker.
She's a quick thinker. Quick hands is one of her fortes, and always looks to dish the ball out. She's turned more into an inside mid than an outside mid in the last probably 18 months, which is, I think, good for a game.
Whitney drives the ball, and now the NWFL find themselves at half forward, just trying to paddle the ball in front. This is vital meterage here for the NWFL. Clever kick. That was excellent stuff there from Whelan. She's starting to step herself on this game. Ball still in a dangerous spot here for an NTFA defender, and just bustling away through. Michaela Bings takes a couple of NWFL players to wrap her up. We'll have a stoppage right on the paint of 50.
That was good by Jess Whelan to just get some yardage, just those 1%ers.
Neither ruck able to get a clear advantage. Vandenberg with a clever tap on. Ball still alive. Just moving it on with Griffiths. Handball out there from Booth. Vandenberg just waiting for some support to come in. Eventually just gets it herself. Dishes the handball off to Griffiths. Goes inside 50. Monique Booth takes another mark and she'll drive the ball out of defensive 50. Meeting it now for the NWFL. Unable to get rid of it cleanly. There was Bayard, and now coming through the other way. NTFA through Boyack find themselves further down the line, but NWFL do well to mop it up. High kick towards half forward over the back. Unable to take the grab was Huxtable. In the end, intervenes. Gets the free kick to Madison Dunn. Saw Dunn do a lot of ruck work last weekend against Erin Fazakali. Chipping kick. Wasn't to favour of her intended target. Vandenberg now scraps away at ground level. We'll draw the stoppage. Again, strong tackle laid. Tackle pressure's been immense from both teams. Umpire's going to say that's high contact. Free kick.
Umpire's been on that today.
Certainly have. Ashley Corbett with ball in hand. Drives the ball inside 50. Just goes over the line for a throw in front of us. So it's a 10-point margin in favour of the NTFA. Ball to be thrown in. Side attacking 50 now for the Northwest. Over the back. Ball just tapped on there from Jamison. Umpire.
Also was a free kick, I think.
He didn't quite see what it was for, but a free kick now for the Northwest. An opportunity for them here.
I think it was paid for the not being nominated ruck. Took the hit out, I believe.
This is Sophie Johnson with ball in hand. Johnson lowers the eyes, kicks into the pocket. Last line of defence, Michaela Bins will see that over and out.
Enthralling battle so far, especially the start of this quarter. Wind definitely hasn't died off, so hopefully the Northwest can lock it in this quarter and get a score on the board.
Ball's thrown in. Hurried kick. Just a real arm wrestle at the moment, isn't it? And we've noticed teams really battling to get out of this part of the ground. One down, hurried kick there, opportunity through Huxtable. Kelsey Hill just needs to think her way through it. She does well, handball's down to a little bit of space, but she'll get the free kick, Kelsey Hill. Such a reliable performer down back.
Yeah.
Kicks to the grandstand side of the ground, mark taken. It's a really good mark there. It was a nice kick from Farrow, and that's a really strong mark from Robinson. Robinson cuts it back in the middle of the ground. Mark not taken by Green. Umpire spotted a free kick. Push in the back. Abby Green starting to draw a few free kicks in this game. Kicks towards 50. McKinnell, those orange boots, tries to gather the football. Does really well, Emily McKinnell. It was a 1-on-2. Creates an opportunity here for the NTFA. Bouncing ball will go through for a minor score.
Every time they go forward, McKinnell, Green, and they're damaging at the moment.
They certainly are. The NTFA creating some more meaningful entries inside 50 at that end. That's a really good mark. Strong grab taken there for the NTFA. That's a great grab. They'll now kick the ball more centrally. Vandenberg doing the roving, just loses a footing. McKinnell swoops on the loose footy. Hurried kick inside 50, bouncing ball, puts Hobo Cox under the pump. She loses a footing as well. And that ball goes out of bounds.
Ground ball gathers from both sides today have been pretty impressive, I think. As we just saw there, McKinnell's swept up and got the ball well, and then kicked to Hoiberg Cox, who's done the same thing, so good for both teams.
Ball comes in. Wing just took that ball away from both sides. Handball there from Vandenberg. She deals with Green as well. Umpire lets it roll on. Trying to burst away there if the NWFL was Bayard. Hurried kick. Bouncing ball into the middle of the ground. Humphreys involved. The NTFA have the numbers. Handball out there from Farrow. Still working forward here. Really good run there from Taylor. Driving ball just away from McKinnell. Bouncing football right up against the line, and that will be another minor score. So the NTFA just starting to pepper the goalface a bit here, Morgan.
Yeah, going against the win, and they're still looking very good with the football. Their mids are doing, I think, probably winning the battle in there at the moment in the coalface. So, a bit of work to do for the NWFL.
Long kick out of defensive 50. Spills to the back. A couple of players just slapping the ball on.
Good hands.
NTFA going to launch again in the direction of Green. Wasn't quite to a favour, unable to reel the mark in. Smith there for the NWFL. Reinforcements come in from both teams. Umpire will call the football. So, about 11 minutes gone in this second quarter. It's a 2-goal margin in favour of the hosts. Vandenberg goes back in to collect it. The umpire will take it once again.
Ruck battle's been quite physical at the moment, I think.
Of course, Vandenberg, a really strong performer for the Tassie Devils at under-18 level previously. Now dominating up on the coast. Bursting away, and a kick goes into the pocket now for the Northerners. Robinson and McKinnell raffle it. McKinnell gets a handball off. Opportunity here for the NTFA, and they make the most of it. Really? Oh, no.
No.
I got sucked into the cheers of the crowd there, Morgan. That's a minor score. Got a little bit excited. 2-7 go the NTFA. 2-7-19. NWFL 1 straight 6. Just continuing to create opportunities here at the Northerners. Good tackle. Numbers in support. Just getting the handball out there was Booth. That's a good mark taken. Across half back, Bayard. She's getting herself into this contest. Bayard moves the ball on. Kicks it centrally. High ball. Spills to the back. Really clever handball off. And the NTFA drive it towards half forward. Mark not taken. Ball now to win at ground level. Skirting around the edges is Jan Taylor. Umpire will take it. Umpire lets this roll on. We'll have another stoppage. So 13-point margin. The NWFL controlled territory early in this quarter. The NTFA have really taken control late in the term.
It's a big 5 minutes here.
In the context of this game, a goal from the NTFA could really break the back. But the NWFL merge with the football out of that stoppage. Kick goes into the middle of the ground. Mark not taken, but Huxtable still competes. Kicks it more centrally. Trying to gather it there was Orton. Orton eventually does well, but the numbers in favour of the NTFA. The handballing has been outstanding. And that kick goes high towards half forward. Players converging from everywhere, burrowing in and getting the handball out. Only as far as Farrow, who is copped high. Free kick going the way of the NTFA.
Good on to get straight back up.
It's just tough, Sophie Farrow. Wearing the number 2 this afternoon. Farrow kicks in the McKinnell direction, unable to get it. Ball bouncing on all angles now. Opportunity for the NTFA. Running around, hurried kick towards goal. Bouncing football, keeping it in play and kicking the goal. The NTFA get another. A fantastic finish and just a reward for perseverance, I think there, Morgan.
Well, you said at the end of the quarter, at the end of the first quarter, that this quarter will be very Italian. I mean, I think apart from the first 5 minutes, NTFA have been all over the NWFL.
Yeah, the back half of this term dominated by the NTFA down at that end of the ground. You said it was going to be a big 5 minutes, and NTFA have made the first major strike across that period. 3-7-25 plays 1 straight 6.
Backs against the wall now for the NWFL.
So come back to the middle. How can the Northwest finish this term? Can't afford to concede another goal late in this opening half.
Good punch.
Through the middle. Bruard just overruns the football slightly, goes back in to get it. Jenna Griffiths. Piper Humphreys skirting around the edges. Umpire lets this roll and roll. Eventually we'll take it. thrown up. Vandenberg continuing to dominate the hit-outs. Orton unable to trap it. Goes back in. Bustling away through. Desperate stuff there from Binns.
She's been good this quarter, Michaela Binns.
Yeah, Binns and Dion Taylor down back have been immense. Bursting away with the football now, Monique Booth, who's also had a strong opening half of this game. Mark not taken. Another opportunity here for the NTFA if they can get rid of the football. Umpire will pay the free kick going the way of the NWFL. Handballs back to Baxter. Now they look to launch at a defensive 50. Kick to a bit of a contest. That's a great mark. Fantastic grab. Took it on the second effort. Really good mark there from Hayley Breward. She'll now pump the ball towards 50 Breward. In the McKinnell direction, unable to take the mark. Back of the pack. Grabbing the football, Bronte Byard. Bouncing ball. Abby Green, I shouldn't say. Abby Green was running towards goal. That ball off the side of the boot. And we'll have the NWFL to bring it back into play. So dying stages of this opening half. 3-7-25 by the NWFL, 1 straight 6. 10 scoring shots to 1. Probably paints the picture of how this game's been played so far.
Yeah, the NTFA have been very dominant, and they've, especially against the win now, as they go inside 50 again.
Yeah, good stuff there from Taylor. Kick will go out of bounds on the full. John Taylor having an enormous say on this game. Stalwart of women's football in this part of the world. The NWFL bring the ball back into play. A lot of bodies at the foot of this contest. At the back, the mark's taken, Abby Green. Long way from home. Green pumps the ball inside 50. Another big pack's going to form, but just taking the mark.
Good grab.
Really reading that football well. Good stuff there from Sharman. Sharman moves it on quickly, drives it to the top of the goal square. Mark not taken. McKinnell swoops on the football, wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire will come in.
NWFL just struggling to match up with Abby Green at the moment. She's probably a foot taller than the next tallest opponent apart from Vandenberg, so she's a tough matchup for the NWFL at the moment.
Tap down opportunity here. Shot on goal, missing.
Taylor, I think.
Was down Taylor. Yeah, Abby Green caused plenty of headaches last week for the SFL defence. I thought she was pretty stiff, personally, not to get a vote in the MVP, Abby Green. I thought she almost turned that game. Kick to the outer side of the ground. So the wind just picks up another couple of knots here at Invermay Park. Ball thrown up. Vandenberg halves that. Just at half forward here. NWFL bursting away with the football. Driving ball, bouncing towards half forward. NTFA have the numbers. Orton doing well to harass that football, keeping it alive for the NWFL. Goes back in after it to Aspen Orton. Umpire happy to now come in and intervene as the siren sounds on an entertaining first half of football, but a half that was owned by the Northern Tasmanian Football Association. They lead this one 3-8-26. The NWFL 1 straight 6. So a dominant opening half from the hosts, and the Northwest will have it all to do across quarters 3 and 4. Morgan Hughes.
Yeah, NTFA were good, especially through the middle of that quarter. Boyack and Brewer were very good. Michaela Binns, Dion Taylor was good off halfback. Then she went in the middle and made a bit of a difference in that second half of the quarter. I thought Sophie Farrell was also very good, and obviously, as we've previously mentioned in this broadcast, McKinnell and Green have been fantastic up forward. NWFL obviously got a bit of work to do. Defenders Bronte Byard stepped up that quarter, as well as Karina Baxter. Vandenberg's been tough in the ruck, and obviously Hoiberg Cox has been very good as well. Yeah, it's very, very good half of football from the NTFA, and they'll be looking to get their inaugural win in the All-Star Series. Yeah, inaugural win ever. Yet to win a game across 2 and a bit seasons now of the Women's All-Star Series. So, all to play for across this second half. We'll take a break from commentary. Second half action coming up next.
Welcome back to Invermay Park. About to get the second half underway between the NTFA and the NWFL. The first half owned by the home team. They lead this one by 20 points. 26 plays 6. Alice Robinson with 2 goals. Emily McKinnell with 1 for the home side. Goal kicker for the NWFL, Jess Whelan. So the Northwest have it all to do across this second half. Morgan, we know they've got plenty of talent, but a lot of things are going to have to go right.
They call it the third quarter the premiership quarter, and never has it felt like it's the Northwest Footy League at the moment.
So the ball is thrown up to get this second half underway. Saw the NWFL start the second quarter in style. Just NTFA get on top from there. This first couple of moments are going to be crucial across the course of this contest. Whitney involved there on the wing. Ball gets to half forward and a mark taken once again. Binns pumps the ball into the middle of the ground, running back and taking a strong mark. Vandenberg, she's been a shining light for the NWFL so far. Vandenberg wheels and goes, kicks towards half forward. Freestone unable to trap it cleanly, now wrapped up in a strong tackle. The umpire says a little too strong, high contact, free kick.
Seems to be a numbers game always with the NTFA when the NWFL going forward. Always one extra back, as we've seen in 3-on-2s 2 times already.
Floating ball. Ball trapped there by Farrow, who's had a really strong start to this game. Emerging with the football, Jenna Griffiths, another player who's been lively. Ball goes towards half forward now. Foot race going back. Hoburg Cox takes it, wheels and goes. Right foot that time from Hoburg Cox. Floating ball. First to it now for the NTFA will be Ketchell, who's wrapped up in a strong tackle. Numbers here in support for the NWFL with the smother. Sees that ball go over the line, and been doing those little things really well across the course of the afternoon so far, the NTFA.
They have. They definitely have. They're just doing those little 1%ers that little bit extra, I think, than what the NWFL are doing. Again, one extra step behind the ball, again, from the NTFA.
Good analysis from you here, Morgs. Ball thrown in. Whitney first to the football. Numbers now for the NTFA. Ball bouncing around. It's a big ball to win. Dashing through, unable to get it away cleanly. Inside 50 go the NTFA. Guess who? McKinnell traps it cleanly. Has Green in support. Abby Green wheels towards goal. Bouncing football misses to the left. McKinnell and Green.
Just always look like something's going to happen when the ball goes bobbling in. Doesn't matter how it comes in, up high, down low.
Hoburg Cox drives out a defensive 50 for the NWFL. A little too casual on that occasion there. It was Ketchell. NWFL now come in to lock this football up, and we'll have a stoppage just in front of us. Broadcast end of Invermay Park. Ball goes up. Neither ruck able to get it cleanly. Vandenberg, nice little handball out to Olivia Smith. Smith pumps it down the line. You can just see that breeze causing all sorts of chaos. And Freestone will bring the ball back into play for the Northerners. Yana Freestone, tackling machine last week. Ball's cut off.
Good intercept.
Really good intercept mark there for the NWFL. Emily Saywood now pumps the ball towards half forward, just getting caught in the breeze, reading it well, but unable to take the mark. Was the NTFA defender. They now hurry a ball towards the middle of the ground. Alice Robinson, who kicked 2 in the opening half, gathers the football, shrugs one tackle, tries to get a handball away. Good pressure being applied from Hoburg Cox. Eventually swoops in on the football. Fantastic stuff from the skipper. But the mark's taken at half back, and Bruard will now launch it for the NTFA.
He's really came in this game, Bruard, in the last 2 quarters.
Gets it off to Binns. Binns out wide to Ketchell. Phoebe Ketchell. Spearing ball towards half forward. Now providing the support on the run. Good follow-up effort from Phoebe Ketchell. Goes inside 50. Green caught at the back and the mark's taken. Good defensive stuff there from Joey Revel.
Player in front, she's done very well there, Joey Revel.
Revel exits defensive 50. Mark not taken. Dashing through the other way. Excellent stuff, Taylor. Goes inside 50 now for the Northerners. Robinson. Not on that occasion. Courtney Sharman. NWFL exit D50. Again, they're just breaking down around here at the moment. That's going to be a free kick going the way of the Northwest. Advantage paid. High ball towards half forward. Tackle lay. Desperate stuff there
Bridget
from
Griffiths,
the NWFL and Griffiths. That's a really good tackle from Griffiths. Where does she play her club footy, Morgan?
She's at Devonport. She's first year senior women's player. She's really lit the league on fire very early for Devonport. Helped them into 3rd at the moment on the ladder.
Drives the ball inside 50, but a mark taken. Pins out wide. A little too much on the kick there for Hill. Hill does well, recovers, gets the handball off, and they can set something up here, the NTFA. Ketchell's kick goes back inboard, but only as far as Vandenberg. Takes the mark, looks to move it on quickly, holding the football. Great awareness there from Monique Booth.
Kelsey has done very well there to keep that ball in play.
Booth drives the ball, and that will bounce over and out. Yeah, just need to think her way through it, Kelsey Hill. She did that really well. The wind's just picking up even more here at Invermay Park. Bit of a wind tunnel behind us.
Picking up's an understatement, I reckon.
Ball comes back inboard. It's blustery stuff here at Invermay. Making all the trickier for the NWFL to try and get themselves back into this contest. Scrapping away at ground level, Smith, the umpire will come in. So we talked a bit during the halftime break, Morgan, about the team chemistry for the NTFA. Just looks to have really clicked after last week. They got better as that game went on. Just didn't quite get the chocolates, but they just look to be a well-oiled machine today.
Yeah, definitely moving the ball very well. Seem to be understanding their teammates very well. Up here, even we can hear them talking to one another, so that they are doing a very good job, and that chemistry is clearly clicking. And especially when the confidence is high in the team. I mean, we look at the score, and I mean, it's going to click even more, isn't it?
So neither Robinson or Hoburg Cox able to keep that ball in play. Throw in just in front of us. Ball falls short. Robinson gets it off to Green. Green lowers the eyes. Had a couple of players presenting there. Sharman and McKinnell. McKinnell gathers it outside of the boot. Bouncing ball. Support comes in now for the NWFL, but they're not out of jail. Handball goes back. Opportunity. Flying shot on goal. Misses to the right-hand side. That was Courtney Sharman. Just controlling this game at the moment, the NTFA. That's their 13th scoring shot. 3-10. Plays one straight. 22-point margin. Mark taken there from Jess Whelan. Whelan, chipping ball. Strong mark overhead. It's Northwest just trying methodically make their way out of defensive 50. Saywood does well. Gets the kick. Mark taken by Smith.
NWFL's disposal has been much better, or commentators curse, but it has been much better in the first of these last two quarters than it was in the first.
Excellent stuff from Jenna Griffiths. Cut that ball off, go inside 50, but the mark's taken by Revel, who done some good things across this quarter. Joey Revel bangs it out of defensive 50. Clever little tap over the top there from Sophie Johnson. Abby Green's going to be first to the football. Long raking handball, really good stuff from her in the direction of her intended target there in Farrow. Now the ball goes inside 50. McKinnell has a couple to beat. Numbers should work out here for the NWFL. They'll exit defensive 50 via Whitney. Whitney's kick only goes as far as Green though. Abby Green kicks into the pocket. Good vision from her. A little too much on the kick, over and out. So Robinson and Hoburg Cox. It's a fascinating matchup.
Yeah, it is. I think the small forwards from the NTFA have been really good. I mean, even we talk about now Sharman's starting to come into the game as well. Robinson's kicked two. McKinnell's obviously been dangerous. So, I mean, we talk about Abby Green a lot, but yeah, the small forwards have just been as damaging.
Ball comes in. Robinson floating around, pushes Smith off the football. Smith does well, goes back in. Hoburg Cox dances around a couple, just got a kick away, said the umpire. Robinson, hurried kick and on the goal line. Good defensive stuff there from Shania Saywood. Right place, right time. Saywood gets plenty on that kick, drives out of defensive 50, but the mark's taken. And Phoebe Ketchell will now look to set something up. She's really getting involved in this game. Ketchell goes in the direction of McKinnell, somehow keeps it alive. Abby Green kicks it, and mark taken. Don't know if it was the intent of Abby Green, but the mark's taken by Robinson, and she is causing all sorts of headaches for the NWFL.
Yeah, movement around the forward 50 has been very, very good this quarter, and she's obviously got in the right spot there, and now she lines up for her third. So
Alice Robinson looking to kick goal number 3. Takes a deep breath. Has to navigate a tricky breeze. Kicks on the way, but she likes it. A little pump of the fist, and the NTFA, they get goal number 4. Fantastic afternoon so far for Alice Robinson. She gets her third. 4-10-34, the NTFA. Northwest, one straight 6.
A lot of work to do now. A lot of work to do now for the NWFL. Yeah, we've been praising all day, but their forward line has been brilliant. Has been damaging, and every time the ball goes inside 50, it looks like they're going to do something with it. So a lot of work to do here for the NWFL.
I feel like the Northwest have defended pretty grimly across the course of the day, but just sheer weight of entries. Damn wall was eventually going to break, and 4 goals now on the board, 14 scoring shots. Smith bursts through the middle, kicks it inside 50, goes through a couple of sets of hands. A bit of forward craft there from Bissett. Handballs it out, collects it herself. Doesn't quite pick it up though. Smith now buzzing about. The NTFA just look a little bigger and stronger at the moment. They have it across half back and they're going to launch another attack. Kick out in the direction of Green, who just holds the ground well, takes the mark. She read the ball well in the breeze. Green now sets the ball up. McKinnon was probably the intended target, but now it's a foot race to goal. Alice Robinson's there again. Robinson lays the tackle, and the umpire says, holding the footy. Robinson playing like a footballer possessed at the moment. Has an opportunity to kick her fourth. And again, Abby Green just set that ball up, let the runners go to work. Great pressure from Robinson. She looks to kick goal number 4. Just needs to think her way through this. Tricky little angle. Improves it. Kicks the goal. Does Robinson? She does. She's got 4. And the NTFA are on the brink of making some history this afternoon. 5-10-40. The NWFL 1 straight 6. We've got a little while to play still in this third quarter, but the NTFA are on the brink, recording their first ever win in women's All-Stars footy.
I think if you've got a young junior girl who wants to learn some forward craft, you'd be looking at Robinson's game in this quarter. She's been brilliant, ever present. Forward pressure's been, I would say, elite, and has got 2 goals for reward. She
spent a lot of last game up on the wing as well, so just showing she's got a few strings to her bow, Alice Robinson. Your own work rate's just been absolutely immense, and that Green, McKinnell and Robinson combination. And now Courtney Sharman, as you said, also getting involved. There haven't been many passengers in this northern team this afternoon.
No, definitely not.
Freestone wrapped up in a tackle. Good tackle laid there by Sophie Johnson. Just ticking over 11.5 in this third term. Ball tapped down. Griffiths unable to get there. Going in the other way was Humphreys. Umpire spotted a free kick. High contact going the way of the NTFA. Freestone goes into the middle of the ground. Mark's taken. I'll go back the other way via Joey Revel, who's been one of the NWFL's best across the course of today. Floating ball. Mark not taken there by Freestone. Umpire will come in to intervene.
Yeah, Revel's got that tough matchup on Abby Green, as we talked about earlier. But yeah, this quarter she's been playing in front and been getting some reward as well by taking some intercept marks.
Neither ruck able to win that down convincingly. Kick went nowhere. Now an opportunity for the NWFL. Hurried kick, but a great tackle there from Griffiths. Fantastic work rate from Jenna Griffiths.
Ooh.
And she's...
I think it's is it Dane was tackle? They painted that, I think.
In the back, yep. That's the umpire's call. The intent was immense from Griffiths. Just the attack at the player was fantastic, but the umpire had a much better view than us. Adjudicated that as being illegal. So probably let out of jail a little bit there, the NWFL, as Whitney chips the ball. Clever kick over the top. Finds Smith. Can they try and conjure something here? Chipping kick more centrally. Opportunity. Handball over the top. A little too hot. Tied up against the pocket. That one out of bounds on the full. Good crowd in. OLs and some Pats playing senior NTFA football after this one this afternoon at Invermay Park. Harassed over the line there for the NTFA was Dion Taylor, who's been fantastic.
Fantastic wherever she's been, half back, in the middle, tough as nails.
Ball thrown in. Umpire. Get that one to come in again. As time ticks down, 14 and change gone in this third term. Plenty of purchase on that throw. Ball to win here. Aspen Horton at the back of the pack, unable to influence. Kick off the ground there from the NTFA, buys them some territory. The tackle pressure has been outstanding from the NTFA across the course of this contest. Another exhibit right there. A couple of players combining. Good stuff from Farrow. Handball out. Opens the door. Bang through. A couple of tackles there was Griffiths. The umpire says no prior.
She's been very good this quarter, Jenna Griffiths.
Exciting player, Jenna Griffiths. No doubt about it. Tap one down by Booth towards the boundary line. Stays in play temporarily. Coming in over the top, Ketchell. Smith absorbs it. Big tackle. So, dying stages here of this third quarter. NTFA in a commanding position. Griffiths, good strength, got the handball away. Freestone, handball. This is good stuff. Farrow sets it up. Chance here for the NTFA inside 50. McKinnell draws some contact. The umpire will pay the free kick, Emily McKinnell. So, McKinnell, who kicked the opening goal of this encounter, an absolute beauty from the pocket. She's had a couple of looks at it since, but more than anything, has just created some headaches for the NWFL defenders. Sets herself towards goal. McKinnell, plenty of purchase on the kick, but missing to the left-hand side. Through for a minor score.
I'll see why she wears the orange boots. Very flashy.
Yeah, she's an exciting player, isn't she, Emily McKinnell? Hoiberg Cox. Spearing ball out of defence. Magnificent user is Abby Hoiberg Cox. Really good kick. Finds Olivia Smith. Two prime movers combining. Smith further down the field. Mark not taken there by Huxtable. NTFA again just bursting away. The chain of handballs have been so impressive. Long kick towards half forward. Abby Green floating around, so too Alice Robinson, but great dash shown there by Hoiberg Cox, keeping the ball alive for the NWFL. Is there still time for the NTFA? Griffiths slams it on the boot inside 50. A couple of Northwest players raffle it between themselves. Kick goes out of defensive 50 from Revel. Bouncing ball towards the boundary line. Phoebe Ketchell should be first to it for the NTFA. Good pressure shown by Elise Hoiberg Cox, but Ketchell shrugs a couple of tackles. Kicks in the direction of McKinnell. Little too much on the kick. McKinnell does well. Absorbs the tackle, then taken by a couple of Northwest players, and the umpire will take the footy. Dying stages of this quarter. Tap one down, still time. Robinson with a clever tap on. Robinson just harassing at the moment inside 50 and a little overzealous on that occasion. Free kick going the way of the Northwest. Ball to be taken now by Karina Baxter. Baxter exits defensive 50, sets it up, coming across the top. In front, I should say, there was Breward. Pressure being shown, holding the football. Free kick going the way of the Northwest. So the clock continues to tick. Humphreys kicks down the line. I'm assuming a relation of Emma Humphreys, Hawks?
No relation at all. Strangely enough.
Just thought a famous footy name on the Northwest. Emma Humphreys, of course, plying a trade out west for the West Coast Eagles. Former star of this Women's All-Star Series concept as well.
Inaugural MVP.
Inaugural MVP, absolutely. Took the mickey that series, I'd say. Absolutely dominant. Hopefully she can pay me for those positive comments later in the week as the ball goes out of bounds there from McKinnell's kick. The siren sounds for three-quarter time. 5-11-41 the NTFA, the NWFL, 1 straight 6. Another quarter dominated by the home side. Alice Robinson causing all sorts of chaos inside 50 for the NTFA. The commanding lead for them. We'll take a break here for three-quarter time. We'll talk about the state of this contest and get into the last quarter after the break. Welcome back to Invermay Park. The final quarter about to get underway between the NTFA and the NWFL. The final game of the 2023 Women's All-Star Series. The title, of course, wrapped up by the SFL last weekend. A fantastic weekend for that association. But today, these two teams fighting for a win. The NWFL, of course, reigning champions, two-time champions of this format. It's now the third edition. The NTFA have never won a game. They're looking to make history this afternoon. They find themselves in a convincing position. 5-11-41 plays one straight 6 with a quarter to play. And NWFL with it all to do. Bursting off half back. Kicking now in the direction of Griffiths, who just keeps the ball alive. Freestone swoops in on the loose football. Drives it towards half forward. Mark in the back. Not taken, yep. In the back is the free kick. So ball now will be taken by Bruard. Bruard pumps the ball inside 50 now for the NTFA. Back of the pack. Waiting for the runners. Ball goes out of bounds. So we thought that the first quarter might have... Obviously, the NTFA played well. We thought it might have been partially weather dependent with this blustering conditions, but they've just really dominated this game outside of maybe a 5-minute passage at the start of the second term. The NTFA has been absolutely fantastic, dashing through and providing some fantastic drive. There was Taylor. She's been immense across the course of the contest. Tackle laid by Robinson and Sharman. Ball now goes out to the outer side of the ground. Haven't seen a lot of football in this pocket of Invermay Park across the course of the afternoon. The NTFA again emerge with it. Kick goes centrally, but NWFL have the numbers. Kick goes in the direction of Whelan. A little overzealous on that occasion, trying to defend, and the free kick will be taken by the NTFA. Yana Freestone, who's been one of many stars for the NTFA this afternoon. Freestone drives the ball inside 50. Buzzing about. McKinnell involved there. NWFL through handball find themselves out of defensive 50. High kick into the middle of the ground. Flying high but unable to take the mark. Freestone gets it once again. She started this quarter on fire. Liana Freestone spots up a target inside 50. A good kick. And Deanne Taylor has ball in hand.
Experienced hands here come to the forefront for the NTFA. Freestone, Taylor, Green in the ruck as well has been very good early.
So Deanne Taylor spending a little more time further afield as the game's unwind. Quick effort towards the line. Plenty of purchase on the kick there from Taylor. Just kept going. Eventually punched through for a minor score. 5-12 go the NTFA. NWFL still just the one scoring shot on the board as they look to exit via Hoburg Cox. High ball. Outside defensive 50. Mopped up by guess who? Deanne Taylor. Ducks around one. Kicks it inside 50 in the direction of McKinnell. A little too much on the kick. Coming back in support now for the NWFL. Happy to see that ball over the line. On that occasion, Karina Baxter. Ball thrown in. Tap one down. Smith gets the handball away. Again, quick hands from her. Gets it back. Handball over the top, but the pressure here from the NTFA just putting the clamps on the Northwest. Fantastic across last weekend and today to see best players across the state representing their regions. Of course, auditioning for the state game that's happening in just a couple of weeks' time. July 1 at North Hobart Oval. Tickets now available. Just head to the AFL Tasmania website. Promises to be a fantastic day of football. Freestone in the middle of the ground, wrapped up in a strong tackle there from Whelan. The umpire says holding the footy. Good defensive pressure there from Whelan.
Reward for effort.
Jess Whelan, heart of Invermay Park. Pumps the ball inside 50. Kelsey Hill unable to take the mark. Opportunity here for the Northwest. Screws one over the shoulder. Just missing to the left-hand side. Opportunity goes begging. Umpire just having a quick chat.
interesting to see Shania Saywood moving up forward this last quarter. She played back all first 3 quarters of today. She played forward last week.
Kelsey Hill to bring the ball back into play. A good player for a long time is Kelsey Hill. Drives it out of defensive 50. Vandenberg unable to take the mark. Griffiths handball away. Clever little tap back there from Michaela Binns. Bit of volleyball style. Booth slams it on the boot. Green in the right spot. Green with a clever kick over the top, setting up another attacking foray here for the NTFA, but a cruel bounce brings Hoberg Cox back into the contest. Hoberg Cox, great pressure. Umpire says holding the football.
It's a great tackle.
Her work rate is tireless, isn't it, Morgan? She's just competing from go to O.
Just an energiser bunny, Abby Hoberg Cox, and she's been brilliant yet again today.
Hoberg Cox kicks it. Abby Green takes the mark. Abby Green, of course, former North Melbourne Tasmanian Kangaroo in the AFLW. Chips the ball towards half forward, trying to get the kick away, and able to do so successfully. Now a chance here through Taylor.
Wow.
Ducks around one and just gets it on the side of a boot. That will bounce over and out. Just has fantastic movement, doesn't she, Taylor? She's not afraid to take the play on, and 9 times out of 10 it works for her.
And we've seen that today. Numerous times she's taken the game on and she's been damaged, especially when she's been in the mid. I mean, when she's been half-back, she's been mopping up those loose balls, but when she's been in the midfield, she's just been ever-present.
Ball thrown back into play. Green does really well, traps that ball, gets it on the second go. Hurried kick around the corner, goes more centrally. Just getting a handball away there for the NTFA. Taylor, great body strength, gets it off. Trying to move the ball forward. It was Edwards. Now they find themselves inside 50. McKinnell, clean underneath the legs as umpire spotted a free kick, and it's going to go the way of Emily McKinnell. She was dealt with after. Just so clean, below her knees, Emily McKinnell. Started this game in style with a fantastic kick from the pocket. McKinnell kicks it to the pocket, setting up an opportunity here for a teammate. Just keeping the ball in play. Eventually they run out of tarmac, over and out. So
how dominant the NTFA have been in the fact that the ball is still locked in at 50 going against the wind. It's probably a 2-goal breeze, but they're still got it locked in nice and deep.
Ball back in play, over the corner there, McKinnell. Ball still alive. Sharman, clever little tap. The umpire says that ball has stayed in play. An opportunity still presents here for the Northerners. Hurried shot on goal, misses to the right-hand side. 5-13 go the Northern Tasmanian Footy Association. A commanding performance. Great work on the mark there. Opens the door for the NTFA. Handball goes back. McKinnell runs towards goal. Bouncing through. McKinnell gets reward for effort. That's her second. And a little cherry on top of what's been a fantastic afternoon at the office for the NTFA.
Yeah, it's definitely been a day for forward pressure for the NTFA. McKinnell and Robinson in particular, their smalls have been very damaging and just little live eyes down there. Every time it's gone inside 50, the NWFL defence has just, I wouldn't say struggled, but they've definitely had their work cut out for sure.
Yeah, they've just had to be in overdrive really across the course of the entire afternoon, and the damn walls have just broken a few times. And McKinnell, second goal of the contest, I feel like she's deserved 2 goals. She's competed so well across the course of the day, and nice little reward for effort there as well. She'll go back into the middle. Green v Vandenberg. Green wins it down to Taylor. Trademark little sidestep from Deanne Taylor. Bouncing ball on the edges of the 50. Going in and digging it out. Great stuff there from the NTFA. High kick to a dangerous spot. And NWFL now come back in support. A couple of players who have really stepped up this quarter. Maisie Edwards, number 20 for the NTFA. She's really getting her hands on the football quite a bit. Combining well with Hayley Bruard. Don't envy Deb Reynolds and the state team coaching staff. They've got so many talented players to pick their state team from.
It's going to be a good team.
Certainly is. McKinnell stripped of the football. The umpire said no prior. Moving the ball on now, the NWFL. They get it out of defensive 50. Green over the top, unable to take the mark. Freestone mops it up over the back. Clever little dinky kick finds Edwards. Plenty of the football in this final term, Maisie Edwards. Kick goes inside 50. McKinnell unable to bring the mark down. Robinson buzzing about at ground level. Robinson has an opportunity here. Gathers the football. Shrugs one tackle. Alice Robinson. Don't tell me! Robinson with another. A fantastic finish. It has been a fantastic performance from Alice Robinson. She has 5 goals to her name. And it's just been a dream afternoon for the young star of the NTFA.
She's been incredible, just as that crubbing forward and just, like we said, just damaging every time the ball goes in. Her pressure's been probably second to none. I think she'd be going close to best on it this morning. 5 goals, incredible.
Absolutely. Fantastic performance from Alice Robinson. She wasn't in the frame for the state team. I'm sure she is now.
It's a way to put yourself in the frame.
Absolutely, and relatively new to the role of a small forward as well. So she's taken to a duck to water inside 50. Mark not taken. Scrapping away there. Lehman trying to provide some pressure. Coming through. Good handball over the top from Taylor. Keeps the ball alive for the NTFA off half back. The NWFL buzzing about. They're not going to die wondering. Continuing to apply as much pressure as they can. Vandenberg gathered the football. Hurried kick. Mark taken. Emma Attard gathers the ball at half back.
Competed in the ruck all day today. She's been fantastic.
Certainly has. Her efforts around the ground have been immense as well. Green, unable to take the football. Desperate stuff there on ground level from the NWFL, but unable to get rid of the football. Holding the ball on that occasion. Caught was Piper Humphreys. So Abby Green with ball in hand. Sees something she likes short. That's where she goes. Finds Griffiths. Jenna Griffiths dances around the player on the mark. Drives it inside 50 for the NTFA. Good grab taken there if the umpire pays it. They will. Yep. Nice defensive effort.
So Rebel's been very good today as well. Down back.
Sunshine well and truly away from Invermay Park at the moment. The temperature's just dropped a few degrees, I reckon, Morgan. Vandenberg, hurried kick. Kelsey Hill goes back and takes a good mark. Fantastic footballer is Kelsey Hill. She looks to spread this football out in the direction of Michaela Binns. Is in a bit of a foot race now with Hoiberg Cox. Binns waits for some support. Excellent stuff there from Elise Hoiberg Cox. Gets it again. Hoiberg Cox inside 50. Hill lost her footing, unable to take the mark. Now dancing through. Mackenzie Lloyd gets rid of the football. Here come the NWFL. They drive it inside 50. Back of the pack. Mark not taken. Lloyd scrapping away now. Good effort there from Saywood. Trying to keep this ball alive here at the NWFL. Good defensive pressure from Lloyd. Hurried kick away from Freestone. Just had players in the right places at the right times. Maisie Edwards kicks in the direction of Abby Green. Green tracking this football, bouncing towards the boundary line. Green does keep it in the field of play. Now kicks towards half forward. They go inside 50. McKinnell at the back of the pack. Tackle laid by a couple of NWFL players, and they're going to say holding the football. Free kick going the way of the Northwest. That might be 50 metres. The player just threw the ball straight on the ground. So NWFL to get the advantage. First or second 50-metre penalty I've seen across the course of the contest.
Umpire's done a good job today in tough conditions, tough windy conditions.
They certainly have. Tough conditions for all players. It's the NWFL. Go inside 50. Coming through Saywood. Just caught at the back. Kelsey Hill with the football, but it's going to be a free kick going the way of the Northwest. Held without the football. Chance here for a bit of a consolation prize. 13 and a half gone in the final term. It's been a historic afternoon for the NTFA. The NWFL just put a little bit more respectability on the scoreboard. High kick, couple of players fly, no one able to take it. Orton at ground level, can't take it cleanly. Handball back from Binns. Kick away there from Lehman. Unable to take the mark, running back Ketchell. NWFL now have some numbers. Good run down tackle. They're still alive here in the Northwest. Just running out of room there was Hoiberg Cox. Coming in, Jenna Griffiths. Fantastic tackle. And should be rewarded at half back. Griffiths goes short. Finds Edwards, who's just been a ball magnet across this final term.
Been very good on this far wing.
Edwards. Kick's just taken with the breeze. bit of an outswinger. Outswinger to the left-hander, that'd be. And the NWFL will bring the ball back into play. Edwards moves it along. Going through there was Corbett.
Good tackle from Edwards again.
It's been excellent. Maisie Edwards. You can see she has Jan Taylor there providing support. Just runs Taylor into a little bit of trouble. She's still got Edwards there. Edwards gathers the football, absorbs the tackle. Good strength shown. Got the handball away. Nice smother there from a teammate as Griffiths now comes in. High kick towards half forward. Just bounces in front of Abby Green and over and out. So they've been steadily improving with the NTFA. They were gallant against the SFL last week. Today, they're looking to make history. Their first win in the Women's All-Star Series concept, and the NWFL have really had a stranglehold over this competition for 2 years. We'll finish the 2023 edition without a win, but a lot of new faces, I suppose. A bit of a regeneration this year for the NWFL Morgs, and we've probably seen some bright spots over the course of the 2 weekends.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, still a very young side. This year, probably the youngest we've had, I think, in that time, and still a lot of positive to go. So again, good for these young girls to get a game into at such a high level, because this has been a high level.
Great tackle laid by Emily McKinnell. Speaking of playing at a higher level, she will look to kick goal number 3 and cap off what's been a sensational afternoon for her and a sensational afternoon for the NTFA. McKinnell extends the advantage. The NTFA 8-13-61. The NWFL 1-1-7. McKinnell gets 3. 2 goals in the last quarter. And this has been a comprehensive performance from the team in black and white.
Very comprehensive. Comprehensive would be an understatement, I think, because they've just been so damaging through that forward half of the ground.
It's been such an even team performance from the NTFA, but you do look at the score sheet. You've got 5 goals to Robinson and 3 to McKinnell. 2 stars, but I feel like around the ground they have had a really even team showing.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you looked at the assist stats, direct assists, I reckon they'd be spread out.
So go back to the middle. We've just ticked over 17 minutes. Not long to go. They might not have won the series, the NTFA, but this win will mean an awful lot to them. Hobart Cox got rid of the football. Now getting it back. NTFA just hunting in packs at the moment. Taylor dishes the handball off. Hurried kick away just as the Hobart Cox tackle came in. Showing a bit of run there. Baxter. Kick only as far as Griffiths, who has been fantastic across the course of this afternoon's game. Griffiths kicks in the direction of Green, unable to take the mark. Green, she can swoop the football up. She does eventually. Ooh. Can't quite get the kick away. NWFL defending well on the last line of defence. A couple of handballs combining. Again, great defensive pressure being shown. Tackle laid. And NWFL able to bounce the ball towards half-back. Hobart Cox got the handball away. Griffith stays a tackle, but the siren sounds on what has been a historic afternoon for the Northern Tasmanian Football Association. The NTFA claimed their first ever Women's Statewide All-Stars Series win in convincing fashion over the NWFL. 8-13-61 plays 1-1-7. And outside of a little brief period early in the second term, Morgan, it's just been an afternoon owned by the NTFA.
Yeah, I think with the NTFA there was very little passages. I mean, you go through their side, and I mean, Kelsey Hill down back was brilliant. Griffiths and Boyack and Gruard in the middle were good. Mace Edwards in that last quarter on the wing were fantastic, but obviously how good were their forward line today? Brilliant.
They certainly were. As you said, we just mentioned it a few minutes ago that the score sheet shows 5 goals to Robinson and 3 to McKinnell, but it was an incredibly even team performance. The whole group really combined well across the course of the day, and ultimately NTFA just proved to be a little bit too strong. Blustery conditions here at Invermay Park, but the SFL have won the series. The NTFA will finish second with a convincing win this afternoon, and just see all the players shaking hands, acknowledging one another as the OLs just warm up in front of us here as well. So considering the conditions and where we are here at Invermay Park, we won't be able to show the full presentations that are being shown. So we will finish up here in commentary. Make sure you do stay tuned to the AFL Tasmania social media channels across the course of the afternoon and during the week for all the lowdown from this contest, including the full MVP leaderboard. Thank you to Morgan for your role in commentary today. Thank you to Jason on the camera and Ash Wilkes back in the studio. Thank you for your company. As I said, just stay tuned to the AFL Tas social media channels for all the fallout from today's game in this 2023 Women's Statewide All-Star Series. Today's belong to the NTFA. They're on out. Convincing winners. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.